Hi guys, here we go again on my channel called Gray Matter. So I don't know if you've been paying attention, but here over the past several weeks especially, but really it's been a month, there's been this deal with these mysterious drones flying around New Jersey and a few other places, and it's really been ramping up here recently, and it's been kind of a big headline. So I decided to Google mysterious drone, and it's been very entertaining to just see the headlines and how they've progressed throughout the past day and a half or so. So the first thing that came up was an article from The Guardian titled "Mysterious New Jersey Drone Sightings Prompt Call for a State of Emergency." Okay. And then the next one is from Fox News. U.S. Military Research Center denies New Jersey drones are theirs. The next article from Ashbury Park Press, presumably a local station. Representative Smith, 50 drones came from the ocean. At least a dozen trailed a Coast Guard ship. And then the next one, Bergen Record. FBI to a frustrated Congress. We just don't know who is behind the mystery drone flights in New Jersey. The next headline from Fox News, very high sources say mystery drones originated from an Iranian mothership, GOP lawmakers says. The next one is from the Daily Mail. Lawmaker makes wild claim about mysterious drones over New Jersey after FBI admits it has no explanation. So it's kind of a response to the last two headlines. And I don't know if you realize it or not, but today there was this big House meeting, and they were talking to the spokesperson from the FBI. And I actually had the opportunity to watch some of it, and it was pretty interesting, but it didn't really have a lot of answers as far as what are these drones. Basically the FBI and the DOD and pretty much everybody in the government claims to not know what it is. However, they do say that it's absolutely not a from a mothership from Iran. They're saying it's not that, and they claim they have no evidence to believe that it is adversarial in nature from one of our adversaries. So some of the interesting things that came out of this was that this guy, Kevin Wheeler, he's the public relations person for the FBI. And one of the things that came out is that the FBI has only $500,000 earmarked to work on drone technology and being able to track drones and things like that. So anybody who's familiar with government spending should realize that $500,000 is really that's like nothing to do much of anything. That's almost like a token amount of money just to say that we're doing something. But that's really a very illegitimate amount of money. So that tells you how serious the FBI has been taking the possible threats of drones. So I don't understand why we haven't just shot one down, because that would give us a big answer, really quick, I think. I think you'd shoot it down, analyze it, find out where it came from, or why doesn't one of our aircraft follow it back to wherever it came from? It just seems like the government has not been, our federal government anyway, has not been doing really a whole lot to try to identify these drones. So maybe it's our own drones, even though they claim not to be. They claim that it is not United States military research drones or anything like that. It's interesting that we've not really heard anything from Biden, and it seems like president should be oh, well, we're going to try to find out. But then again, maybe it's like the balloon that they let go all the way across the country, and then afterwards it's oh, by the way, these are Chinese balloons. I mean, what's that about? So it's probably something like that. Here's one theory that I think I heard somebody say it, but I think it's a really good theory. So do we actually know that they're not Chinese or Russian? If we were actually to admit that they are from one of those adversaries, that would amount to accusing them of an act of war. What happens whenever a country performs an act of war? Usually there's some sort of a response. So what kind of a response would we have to an act of war from a couple of other superpowers, or one of those superpowers? Could be a precursor to a very large conflict. things are already pretty delicate. So maybe that's what's going on. Maybe they really know, but they're not quite sure how best to do it. One of the excuses I heard was they didn't want to shoot it down because, you know, there's liability of like parts falling and landing on people and, you know, injuring somebody. So just for future reference, if there's a foreign jet flying over the country, unidentified aircraft in, you know, airspace they're not supposed to be in, we're not going to shoot it down, okay? Because don't want to take any chances and have it crash on somebody. Anyway, all that aside, so here is a very interesting article, a little bit older. It's from last month, November 27th. But in the light of things that are going on right now, I really don't think that it's aged very well. It's an article from Politico. The title is "The Drone Rangers. Trump World Declares War on Fighter Pilots." And here are a few excerpts from the article. Several high-profile billionaires and backers of President-elect Donald Trump are waging a public battle against crewed aircraft and tanks, arguing that drones can do the job better and more cheaply. The world's richest person, Elon Musk, who is co-leading an advisory group aimed at cutting government waste, is emerging as one of the loudest voices promoting the use of drones to replace high-dollar and often troubled crewed jet fighters. He then posted on X at another point, "Manned fighter jets are obsolete in the age of drones." He also shared a video of Chinese drones and said, "Meanwhile, some idiots are still building manned fighter jets like the F-35. Now, don't get me wrong. I really like manned aircraft, and I think that we've got some strong aircraft, and I'm not really against that. However, I do think that a lot of the things that we've been hearing out of Russia and Ukraine show that drones are the way of the future as far as combat goes. Oh, here's something else. On the defensive side, Andreessen, this is just an excerpt out of the article. Andreessen is a Trump donor, and he's an investor, and he's kind of into new startups for military things. But anyway, he added that defending against small drones imposes a real cost on an enemy. As the U.S. Navy found out this year in the Red Sea, when its ships spent months using $4 million missiles to shoot down Houthi drones that cost several $1,000s. You can defend against one drone with a $20 million missile. You can't defend against 10,000 drones, and so you need to counter drones. While I do believe that there's plenty of room for manned weapons of war, I also believe that the future of combat is going to be unmanned, whether it's in the air or on the ground. I just think that that's the future of combat, and I think that we are foolish if we don't embrace that fact. And I think that the things that have been going on the past couple of days, month, and even going back with these drones, I think it just highlights it. So, anyway, this is Gray Matter. If you like it, like it. If you want to share it, share it. If you follow my page, that's awesome. I'm going to try to do more of this. Only if people watch it and like it and comment and interact and all of that. If nobody interacts and nobody likes it, I'll probably eventually stop. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.